Hey, everybody. It is the 7 o'clock news live because that's what we're doing now. If the media won't cover the things that we need to talk about, then guess what? Miss Kelly's going to do it for you. That's what we're going to do. Didn't mean to do that. Oops. Okay, so, hey, Dark Dude. Good evening. Well, it's good afternoon for you. So we're going to talk about something serious. It's time. It's time to get serious about life and what's going on in this world. Today has been one of those kinds of days. My place, it's going well, Dark Dude. Thanks to, getting my act together for the day, I've been able to get back in the swing of things for my lives. Hi, Jennifer. So, yeah, it has been a bit. How are you doing? So we're going to talk serious today because, like I said, if the media won't, we need to start talking about it here on YouTube within ourselves and get things going before it's way too late and we can't fix things. Like I said in my live earlier today, we only get two mothers in our lives, the one we're born to and Mother Earth. And once both those are gone, that's it. We cannot get them back. And our Mother Earth is in trouble, or she's either in trouble or she's fighting us back, which she sure as hell should, because we are destroying our home. Hello, a trace in time. Hello, classy lady. Hello. So this is something we need to talk about because, like I said, it seems like the media really isn't discussing this. I don't know if they've been muted or they just don't care or there's other things that they're worried about, but this is very serious. Got you, Dark Dude. Supper time for you. Awesome. Hope you had a good day in school today. Hey, Dirty Rotten Imbecile. So this is really serious stuff. I get it. There's people out there who are not totally... Oh, I'm glad you had a great day. I get it. There's some people out there who are totally not into environmental issues or, believing in that. But we need to. We need to start believing what's being said. We need to believe in the science. We got to believe in the scientists, the people who... It's better than I thought. Awesome. My daughter starts middle school in a few weeks, too. She'll be in the 6th grade. So we need to start talking about what's going on in Brazil. We do. We need to start talking about this. We cannot ignore this anymore. I'm not going to ignore it anymore because we need to talk about it and we need to fix it. I should be in 8th, but missed a year. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's in the 6th grade, and that's middle school here. It used to be different. Middle school used to start in the 7th grade, but now it's in the 6th grade because the elementary schools are too full. Yeah, Brazil. Yep, we're going to talk about it because it's important. And not just Brazil, because, rainforest deforestation is not just in Brazil. It's in Indonesia, too. And why does it happen? Because we are doing it. We are doing it. We are screwing up this planet. We are killing our planet. It is horrible. And you know what? It's a simple fix. Well, I mean, no, a simple fix isn't as into why we keep burning down the place. And Panama, too. I've been to Panama. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to Honduras. And I've been in the rainforest, and it's a very beautiful place. It's very lush. Unfortunately, when I was there, I did see some logging going on there, and it was really devastating. I had a rainforest tour. I was actually on a boat tour around there, and it was very pretty. It's a very pretty place. It's very sad that we're going to lose this. I hope we can fix it before it's too late. I'm starting to lose hope. I do. It's time to start losing. I don't want to lose hope. Do we want to lose hope? No, we don't. But we gotta, as a good old Catholic saying, all right, 100 numbers when I'm on live. 1-800 numbers, it's 7 o'clock. Take a break. Bother me tomorrow. So it's time to start caring. It's really, truly time to start caring. I did a lot of research this afternoon on things. And of course, I'm going to be doing a lot more research because this conversation goes much deeper than just Brazil. It really does. It's a very big and deep conversation that needs to be addressed. Because if we don't address it and we don't discuss it and we ignore it, then what happens? We can't do that. We can't let it happen. And, you know, another thing is we cannot get angry with celebrities who are using their powerful voice to speak up on these things. Exactly. We all die, right? Captain Paul Watson. If you don't know, I actually am a member of the Sea Shepherd, and the oceans are dying. The oceans are dying. Now the rainforests are burning. What's next? Do you realize that once the oceans are dying, I'm not sure. What's a Sunshine Group? I don't know. I think the Green Deal was kind of, if I'm not mistaken, the Green Deal was kind of, I don't know. What's a Sunshine Group? Other than me and Jamie. There's actually like a political group called the Sunshine Group. I guess I'm kind of out of the loop on that sense, but something Captain Paul Watson has said, and if you don't know, I am a member of the Sea Shepherd. I have not been on any of their boats or anything like that. I'm just a paid member, as in I pay to be a member, but I do fight the good fight in that sense. Oh, are they the ones that were suing? There's actually a group of young kids who are actually suing the government. And you know what? I think that's a great idea. I don't think that's a horrible idea. They want a future. The kids of today want and need a future. They want their home, their planet, and the animals to live peacefully and cleanly and things. So if that's the one that I'm talking about, I didn't know they had a name, to be honest. I just remember that there was a group of young kids that were suing the government to protect the environment. And I think that's awesome. And I think that should be a thing. I do think kids should step forward. This is their home too, and they have a future to fight for. Hey, Steve. So if kids want to get together and sue the government for the right to have a clean environment and fight for the animals and things like that, we should flourish that idea. We should certainly flourish that idea, because they're the next generation, and they want this place to be a happy, healthy place. So there's actually one girl, I think her name is, I forget her name, but she's from Europe, I believe. She's, I think she's 13. Ruthenberg, I think her name is. Her last name is Ruthenberg. And she's tough. And she's really going out there and fighting climate change. And I think that's awesome. I'm seeing, as an animal rights activist, I've seen a lot of young kids come forward, fighting the good fight. What's that one kid? He's really adorable. Ethan the vegan. Ethan the vegan. He's very cute. And he's been really fighting that. We gotta do that. The kids, I think the next generation may be it. Hi Marie, how are you? I think the next generation could be it, but I hope to God, not that I believe in one because I'm a pagan, but I hope that, in the meantime, us adults can do the right thing before it's too late. But yes, if kids want to stand together and sue the government for their right to a clean environment and the animals to live freely and peacefully, we got to do that. They are. I tell you what, Jennifer, we don't have a lot of animal rights protests over here where I'm at, but I see a lot of them going to SeaWorld and protesting SeaWorld. I see some kids who, I guess schools in Florida as well as California actually have field trips to SeaWorld. I see a lot of kids saying no, they don't want to go to SeaWorld. So that's a pretty good thing. You know, I think that's pretty awesome. They're standing up to their own schools, demanding to not force them to go to SeaWorld as a field trip. I think that's excellent. And they're right. How are you going to learn about these animals in a cage? I mean, not those. Well, listen, I'm not going to I don't want to get into the great debate of zoos right now, but SeaWorld is no. I would never take my kids to SeaWorld. I went once the last time I went, I was probably 11 years old. So that's more than 20 years ago. That's 22 years ago I was at SeaWorld, and I would never go back again. And I'm going to talk about that in another live, about the environmental disasters in which SeaWorld is causing in California. And I'm sure there's some in Florida as well, but California, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I was not present for there was a meeting a few years ago where SeaWorld wanted to expand the Orca tank in California. I was not physically present there, but I was actually in the live meeting there. I couldn't speak or anything like that, but I had watched the whole thing. I had watched the whole permit meeting live, and one of the lady, my fellow admin who I run my animal rights page with, was actually present. So, I found it buried. Yes, I do support sanctuaries. I do. That's the one thing I do support. And SeaWorld has an option. SeaWorld has an option. There is an organization called the Whale Sanctuary Project, and they're planning on building a orca dolphin sanctuary up in between Maine and Nova Scotia. I am aware that the National Aquarium is planning on sending their dolphins to a seaside sanctuary in, well, they said 2020, so I'm not sure, but then that's like, I'm not sure at this point. But they did just build a beluga sanctuary in Iceland, and they've already sent two belugas are in a seaside sanctuary right now. Now, whether or not they'd be fully released, I don't know. I can't speak for that. Keiko, no, I run a page. It's called Keiko's Legacy because I truly believe he was a success in that case scenario. He did get to go home. He spent 5 years free. 5 years free. Which is really awesome. He wanted to go home. He wanted to be with his family. Unfortunately, I don't believe he found his family, but he did live 5 years out of a concrete jail cell. 5 years. That's pretty awesome. And there's some other there's another orca named Springer. Springer's another one. Yeah, Keiko, the one from Free Willy. That's actually his real name. Bowmanville. Is that the one that did some bad things? Yeah, I think I've heard of that one. Didn't that one get shut down? That's the one that Justin Bieber. Well, because that's not his real name, Steve. His real name is Keiko. Willie's just the Free Willy name. But if you want to call him Free Willy, you can do that. But his real name is Keiko. And Shamu, there's only been one Shamu. There's no more. But the Bowman one, that's the one that Justin Bieber rented the tigers from for his dad's bachelor party, correct? I remember things. I do remember some things. I've been around in the animal rights world for quite some time, so I do remember that. I'm not a huge fan of Justin Bieber. I think he's a really self-entitled prick. You know, I don't like Justin Bieber, and that's the nicest way. Yeah. I remember that. Well, see, that's a whole nother story, but sure, they're not going to breed them on purpose. That doesn't mean they can't breed them by accident. And, you know, there's a whole lot to say about SeaWorld. There's nothing positive about them at all. I don't support it. But if you support it, that's on you. I just don't. because SeaWorld has a lot of bad. What they did to Tilikum was sad and cruel, and he should have gotten the right to go home. You know, I wouldn't have wanted to live that way. Think about it. Let's think about how these animals are treated. You know, when they were breeding them, and that's to say we don't know if they really won't do that. There's no legal documentation that says they will or can't. In Florida, anyways. Tilikum was used as a breeding male, which is no life to live. He was forced. He didn't want to. I'm sure he doesn't want to. He was stolen from his home. Tilikum was stolen from his home, stolen from his family. He went to that sea land up in Canada, and he lost it, which rightfully so. He was being bullied by the other orcas, and he lost it and did what, and honestly, that doesn't happen in the wild. What he did there doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in the wild. You could look up the statistics of an orca attacking a human in the wild, and you would not find anything that was, you know, like that. You know, in fact, I don't recall any accidents that were purposeful. Hi, Justin. Orcas in the wild don't attack people. I've seen many videos of them being very, very curious to people, but they would never harm a person. You know, I just don't think that's, I don't think that's a way to live. They drug those poor animals because they go crazy. They don't want to live in a tiny cage. Hi, Texas Rider, and he was not born into captivity. He was stolen from his home. His family was killed so he could be put in a cage. You know, you could watch Blackfish. No dolphin willingly volunteers to live at SeaWorld or any tank. They're taken from the wild, and Taiji is hell on earth for a dolphin. Taiji, I've been working on this campaign for the last, I've been working with the Dolphin Project for quite a long time. And it's the most heartbreaking things. It's the most heartbreaking thing that I see. Of course, I've never been to Taiji, Japan, but I watch the live streams for 6 months straight, and I see what's been done to these animals. And I could tell you flat out, no dolphin signs. Hey, I want to be at SeaWorld. You know, I want to live at SeaWorld. No, they don't want to live at SeaWorld. The dolphin smile is nature's greatest deception. They don't have the muscle structure in their face to even smile. So if you think that they're smiling, hi out in the country. So if you think that dolphins are actually really truly smiling when you see them in a tank, they don't have that. They don't have the capacity to smile. That's just the way their beautiful face looks. But I can tell you, come September, I'm going to start doing talks about the Dolphin Project and the Taiji Dolphin Campaign. Hey, Fly Eagles, hello. I've actually been asked by my kids' school to discuss that, which maybe I will, maybe I won't. I think this is a better platform for me to discuss it, but I understand that SeaWorld is offering something for families with children that are autistic. I know some of the aquariums are, and I think that's great that, you know, places are thinking of them. My son, as you all know, my son has ADHD and possibly on the spectrum. So I totally get that, but I just don't teach my kids that that's okay. I did take my son out. Yep. Exactly. Well, found it buried. I actually went to school for animal science. I was a veterinary assistant. I also took marine science. Hi, Princess. Princess Liline. I actually have a certificate in marine science as well as animal science. And the one thing that we learned on day one in school was that if an animal attacks a human, it's not because they're malicious. It's usually due to human error. So animals don't just attack people, it's due to human error. And, we have to remember what these animals go through in that case scenario. Yes, new friends. Yes, I love that. So just keep that in mind with Tillicum. Tillicum, he lived a horrible life. A horrible life. In fact, after the incident with Don Brownshaw, you know that they kept him in the back and he was not allowed to perform anymore, which sounds great. But no, he was locked away in the back like he was some monster. And, no, he was a beautiful, beautiful being. I plan on getting a tattoo of him. And, Don Bradshaw. I mean, listen, I don't think that these trainers don't love these animals. I don't that they think that they don't. I know, I've been in their shoes. No, I've never trained an orca or, a dolphin or anything like that. But I understand. I went to school to work with animals, and it's, you're really stuck. You're really stuck because I've had conversations with John from the film and some of the others. I do talk to Dr. Naomi Rose on occasion about things. If I have a question, I do talk to her about things. Because like I said, I run an animal rights page. So I have to be truthful and honest about things on there as well. Of course, there are people who are going to rebuttal what I have to say, and that's fine. And I have no problem respectfully debating that. Those trainers are in a very tough situation, because it's like what John Hargrove had said, is that it was very hard to walk away because he knew that somebody else was going to come along and take care of these animals. And maybe they may not be as nice. I've been in that shoes. I've worked for a farm. I've worked with animals. I get it. It's hard. It's hard to walk away from an animal that you truly love, knowing your hands are tied when, animals are being used as a moneymaker. So, hey, Luckies. So I have a lot of respect for Don. I have a lot of respect for John Hargrove and all those wonderful people who came forward and said these things. And I know some people on YouTube are not going to be a fan of Blackfish or The Cove or anything like that. I do work in depth with the Dolphin Project. I am friends with some of the Cove monitors, as well as yes. Oh, Jennifer, I'm well aware of that issue. Do you follow? There's actually a really cool scientist on Facebook that I follow. The Captain Planet Project. Yes, I'm aware of that. That's a horrible thing that's going on down there. That's due to the runoff from the Florida Sugar Company. Yeah, I hear about that. That's why I try to be as organic as possible. Oh, that's the other green algae problem. Oh, I wonder if that's linked. We're killing the planet. Take a look at what we're doing. Our planet is dying because we just... Oh, gotcha, Steve. And this is what I want to talk about is, the issues in Brazil. This is all man-made. We're doing this. We're dipping and doing and causing all these issues. And something I just want to put out there is, I know some people, I don't watch award shows anymore. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want to listen to celebrities talk about political things, or I don't want to hear them talk about this and this and that. Let them. Because you know what? Yeah, I do have Hulu. Yep. Of course I do. I don't have cable. I have Hulu, Prime, and Netflix. Now, if you have Prime, I believe you can watch The Cove. And you can watch Blackfish on Netflix. So, we need to, like I said, if there are celebrities out there that are talking about these things, because let's face it, in regards to what's going on in Brazil, there's absolutely the media coverage is crap. I only found out about this yesterday, about what's going on in Brazil. I only heard about this yesterday, and it's been going on for weeks. The devastation is horrible. I mean, I don't watch TV, but I also haven't been on Facebook much either these days because, you know, Facebook is drama book. Although I could say the same about YouTube. But we need to change. Change, but you can't blame the government because they're not looking to change. We need to change within. We need to change what we do within. I think it was Woody Harrelson. Yes. Woody Harrelson. He has a video out there called The Weekly. Oh, I'll check that out. Since now that The Handmaid's Tale is over for the next year. And I do watch The Harlots as well. I think that's almost finished. But you know, if there are celebrities out there who are using their power to discuss these important issues, please don't criticize them. I mean, yeah, I guess award shows are not the place to be doing that, but let them. Because, you know what? Maybe you don't agree with them. Maybe you don't like what they got to say. But they're saying it. They're saying what a lot of people would like to say, but they're not being heard. So let's let them talk about these things. You know, what's going on the Amazon is very, very horrible, and we need to fix it somehow, some way. I don't have all the answers as to how we fix this, but I have some answers as to maybe how we can reduce some of the issues. You know, I'm not a scientist. I do have a background with working with animals and marine life, but we need to start working on these things before it's too late. And you know, we're here on YouTube every day. Well, maybe you're not on YouTube every day, but I'm here on YouTube every day. So, you know, the one thing I had always promised is that once I became famous as an actress or whatever it is I'm doing, that I would use that platform to discuss the very issues that we're talking about here on YouTube. And since I'm not famous right now, or at least famous enough on YouTube, I will use that. Yep, Harry Styles is an awesome kid too, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Harry Styles is very much against SeaWorld. I actually have his T-shirt somewhere. If you love dolphins, don't go to SeaWorld. I do think that SeaWorld can revamp itself, though. I think that what they can do is they could put the animals into a seaside sanctuary, which the animals would still be in their care. They could still charge people to see the animals, but in a more natural setting. And it's a win-win. It'd be an excellent start. But SeaWorld's not the only one that has dolphins in their care. Let's not forget Disney has dolphins in their care as well. But I'm not going to, again, this is going to be a conversation for September because the dolphin hunt season will begin in a few weeks. But I guess we're giving a cliffhanger till the next time. But yes, we need to think about that. SeaWorld's not the only culprit. However, they are the biggest culprit. And they do have parks not only in the United States. There is a Japanese SeaWorld and right. Well, you know, I don't know if you know this. The National Geographic has a excellent aquarium. I put in quotes because it's not really, there's no animals there. National Geographic has a place right here in New York. It's in Times Square. It's called the National Geographic Encounter. And it is I've been there once, and it's worth the ticket. It is a CGI experience, which means there is no animals, no tanks, all on the screen. It's interactive, and it can be it's progressive. So if they want to swap out the exhibits, they can. No animals are in there at all. And it's really cool. I went there with my kids, and it's small because it's in the middle of Times Square. You can buy a ticket. I think there's a Groupon, maybe. And New York City has a New York City Museum discount if you buy like a whole bunch of tickets. If you buy like, I think it's, the more museum tickets you buy, the cheaper it gets. So it's part of that as well. So there are ways of showing our children the animals without, having them in a cage. And then coming from New York City, where we have the Bronx Zoo, and we also have the Central Park Zoo. This is an excellent thing to have in place of that. We do need to work on rebuilding their homes, their habitats. We need to stop poaching them, whether it be legally or illegally, which means we got to put an end to trophy hunting. Trophy hunting is basically legally poaching animals for money. I don't support that, Steve. Finding Dory and Finding Nemo. You guys gotta watch. If you watch that and really listen, you gotta really listen to Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. And you have to do so. I actually could do a video on. I could do a live stream on that, Steve, on how they acquire some of these fish for aquariums to be sold, like Dory. Dory is a blue tang. She's a blue tang, and they don't breed very well in captivity. So they're generally not bred in captivity because they don't do so well. So unfortunately, the wild populations are being affected by people wanting to purchase a blue tang. Same thing with the the clownfish, they do breed a little bit better in captivity, but again, they do take them from the wild to be sold in pet stores. It's not just fish either. It's other animals. There's other animals like birds. There's an animal that's really adorable. It's called the slow loris. You'll see videos of them on Facebook that are taken from the wild to be sold as pets. The wild animal pet trade is a very big problem in this country. It's right up there. I think it actually surpasses our drug smuggling issues. It's actually far worse and a lot more money because people want something better than a dog and a cat, which is kind of sad because we have all these dogs and cats in our yeah. I unfortunately did not do that. I kind of wish I had rescued Frankie, but it was an offer. She was offered to me because I was in search of a service dog. I was very specific about, the type of dog I wanted. I needed somebody small, and I wanted a pug. I wanted to adopt a pug, and the people who I gotten Frankie from, they had a runt. She was a runt of the litter, and she was offered to me. So, the woman had expressed great admiration with the fact that I was looking to adopt a pug. We don't have pug rescues in New York, so she offered her to me. So Frankie cannot be bred. She cannot be in the AKC, although this lady was not an AKC, licensed breeder or whatever they do there. But yeah, so yes. And you know what? What's even crazier is, you can adopt any animal at this point. For pets. It's not just dogs and cats that are looking for homes. People buy reptiles, or in my mom's case, a chinchilla. My mom rescued a chinchilla about a couple years ago. Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, Frankie is a pug, and she has been trained in depth for her job. Any dog can be trained to be a service dog. It's not impossible. There's a lot of dogs that are, I know, like for veterans, there's organizations out there who will rescue dogs from the shelter, and they will train them. It's not always going to be golden retrievers or lab mixes or anything like that. But because I am not a veteran, I am a domestic violence survivor, there is no organizations that would hook me up with a PTSD dog, so I had to go out and find my own and have her trained and registered and licensed by the government. It's not cheap. It's not easy. It does take a lot of time and money and effort to get there. I do not support. There's some things I don't support in service and emotional support animals. Yep. So, I think the emotional support animal thing is taken advantage of. I think I talked about this in my live a few days ago, how there are people out there who are taking advantage of it. But in some parts, I don't think it's 100% their fault either. You know, unfortunately, landlords require emotional support letters for animals as small as a hamster or, you know, a gerbil or whatever. That's a problem. I mean, I don't see why landlords would really require it just for that. My landlord does. My housing agency, if you don't know, I live in a housing agency for people for with handicaps. Yeah, I don't support that. Yeah, I don't support that at all. That's a little nuts. I mean, part of that is people, like I said, people want something different than a dog or a cat. I mean, hamsters are pretty simple. But that's another thing is that, you know, some landlords require, you know, if somebody wants to get their child a hamster and they're living in an apartment, they have to get a letter. Some places require a letter, you know, so the kid could have a hamster. The only animal my housing agency does not require a letter for is a goldfish, because it doesn't make a mess. Hey, Wicket, but sadly they force you to have a letter for somebody from Denver, Colorado keeps calling me, and I do have your name, so I would advise you, if you're on YouTube, to stop calling me. Thank you. Well, I've heard of that, Jennifer. I mean, that's kind of rough, you know, a miniature pony. I mean, I can understand that as a, like a what do you call it? Not a service animal, but aren't they could be considered a therapy animal? That way you could take them to, like, you know, the old folks' homes and stuff. I've heard of that. Some animals, I've actually heard of a lot of, I've actually heard that through the grapevine. There are actually horses and llamas and things like that. People have them trained and registered to be a therapy animal, which is different than a service or emotional support animal. So that's different. And I support that idea because, you know, people who are living in a, you know, a home for, you know, in a nursing home may need some sense of, you know, normalcy. And maybe that's the only way they're going to get it is somebody brings a horse in to say hello. You know, that's not terrible. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I would love to share Frankie, but she's a service dog. So once she's a service dog, she can't be a therapy animal for anybody else. So there's no sharing in that sense. That's okay. But yeah, there are definitely people out there who take advantage of that idea. Unfortunately, housing is hard to find for a lot of people too. I remember housing's hard for a lot of people to find. And you know, they become homeless and they have pets and they gotta have somewhere to take them. And the only way to not lose your pet is to do that. Hi, Jamie. So we are going to discuss, and that's, you know what, pets are emotional support animals, you know. It's probably pretty cute though, Jennifer. I wouldn't be offended if somebody walked down my block with a service pony and I could say hello. I don't live in a place where ponies are a thing, so, and yes, I have worked on farms, but not in my area. But back to the topic at hand, which would be the Brazil issues. Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet you the kids in your area would get a kick out of that, to see a service pony. Damn, don't give me ideas. I do have a yard. No. Hopefully my kids are not watching this thinking we'll get a service pony, because it ain't going to happen. No, we don't have money for ponies. I do have, see you later, Jennifer. I do have plans for the future, you know, when I become famous and have money, I would love. Oh, yeah. Well, Wicked, there's some old live streams that I don't want out in the public anymore, but oh, is she here, Barry? Well, hi, Barry. Christina's more than welcome to come in my live. Is she here? Oh, okay. Well, hi, Christina. And hi, Barry. Oh, she's live now. Okay, good to know. You could tell her I said hi. Well, I don't know. You could tell her I said hi, I guess, as long as the other people don't get upset. But moving on. So the initial issues at hand I wanted to talk about was, what's going on in Brazil. This is very important, and I think more of us. Nothing, Barry. Nothing to report. But anyways, the only thing I'm reporting right now is on the Amazon fires because it's very important, and I think more people on YouTube need to start talking about this. What do you want? Hey, H7. So, we're gonna get in it. We're gonna get in it, cause yeah, I'm not gonna spray that bug. So we're gonna talk about this Amazon thing. I'm quite well, Barry. How are you? I'm okay every day, all day. No, I'm just talking about the the Amazon rainforest fires today because it's very important. I think I'm glad you're doing good, Barry. I did see your new video, by the way. That was a very cute video. You are really talented, Barry. I just wanted to give that to you. I think you're a very talented guy, and you have really good editing skills. I know you won't go live until yeah, I liked it, Barry. I really like your style of videos. They're really great, and you have a really good way of doing editing. You got talent. I don't have editing talent. That's one thing I lack. But so back to the issues at hand. Discussing, what's the new YouTube update? The Messenger's going out. Yeah, I did hear about that. I guess they don't want YouTube to be like Facebook. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, take everything. You're right. You're right. There's a lot of, yeah. Well, Facebook is taking things away too. It's not just YouTube. I guess there's some changes come along on social media. Oh, Jamie, they're removing the YouTube Messenger. I don't know. To me, that's not the end of the world. I don't really use that. So if they want to take YouTube Messenger away, do what you got to do. It doesn't affect my life or my channel because I don't use it. But if you use it, I apologize and that you're going to be losing your service. Yeah, I know, Wicked. Yeah, I know. That's fine. Sometimes you got to put something on private. It's not like I'm hiding anything. It just, got to put it away. Oh, I do have Cheetos, Trigger Tray. Hold on. I do. All right. Uh-oh. You see this girl? See her? She heard Cheetos. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we do have some. Trigger Trays in the house. Oh, so anyways... if you see my Instagram, I have been really active on the, unfortunately, I do believe these do have, palm oil, as I was going to talk about. Actually, no, they don't. Hold on a second. Well, hot damn, there is actually no palm oil. I didn't even think to look at that. But let me tell y'all something. This is a very good thing right here. There is no palm oil in Cheetos. They're palm oil free. Yep. I don't see anything that stands out to me. Nope. No palm oil. Cheetos. This is an amazing thing because I don't see anything that stands out to me that could possibly be a palm oil, one of those palm oil names. So that is awesome. I mean, it's not, yeah, GMO soy oil is much cheaper, yeah. Hey, Washington County News. Yeah, I don't see anything, I mean, I don't know all 300 names for, palm oil. Palm oil actually has 300 different names, but I don't see any of the ones. Let me see. I actually think I wrote some down. No. Nope. So check that out. I don't see any of the 300 names. I mean, I don't know offhand all 300 names for palm oil. But I know the main ones. So that's a plus. I don't see any palm oil in Cheetos. They're not vegan. I'll give it that. It's not vegan, and it's certainly not GMO free, but on the bright side, I don't see any names for palm oil in there. So good for you, Cheetos. Frito-Lay, that's awesome. That doesn't mean their other products don't have it, but here, let's see here. I'm gonna check another product. Let's see. Nope. No palm oil in here either. So check this out. No palm oil and no palm oil. I actually forgot to look. Yep, it's all vegetable oil. So you're good. So if you want these and these, no palm oil. Okay? So there is, you have to really look at a label. There's actually an app, I forget the name of it, but there's actually an app that will tell you if an item has palm oil. You could actually scan it in and it'll tell you if there's palm oil in your product. Unfortunately, palm oil is in everything, but so I just want to read bits and pieces of Leonardo DiCaprio's statement that he had posted on Instagram today. And I just want to give a shout out to Leonardo DiCaprio. I think, you know, he's very misunderstood, or, you know, people don't understand, you know, he's got a very big zest, or he's got a very big zest and passion for the environment. He's made quite a few documentaries on things regarding the environment. He has his very own documentary, which he stars in, which is called Before the Flood, which is really great. That talks about a lot of rainforest deforestation and animals, and, you know, what we're doing causing climate change. And of course, somebody's going to come on my live and probably dispute the fact that climate change exists, and that's quite all right. I'm cool with that. But it does exist, and it's a problem, and we need to work on it. Unfortunately, losing these rainforests is going to be a big problem for our environment. Not only that, it's devastating to the animals. They're going to lose their home and a whole bunch of other things. We need to look at this at a grandiose scale. It's not, oh my gosh, the rainforest is dead, blah, blah, blah. It's more than just that. We need to really, really care. It's time to care, everybody. It's time to open up our eyes and realize that this planet is not going to last forever. Or if it is, the planet may last forever, but we won't, unfortunately. Or fortunately, maybe this planet will do better without humans on it. I don't know. I don't really know what the answers are to that. But what I do know is that it's time to open up our eyes. These kids, we were talking about it before, the Sunshine Group, who is suing the government. I think that's excellent. I really see a lot of potential in the next generation, but unfortunately we need to start caring in this generation, because if you don't know this, the oceans are dying. The oceans are actually choking, and by 2050, if we don't get our act together, by 2050, it's going to be all gone. And when the oceans die, that's it. We're done. We cannot live that way. So we need to work on this. We need to get our butts in gear and start caring. Stop worrying about what this guy in government says and what that guy says in government. It's our job, not their job, to fix it. We need to fix it. Change has to come from within. That guy in office, he doesn't care. That lady that could have been in office, she doesn't care. These people don't care. They don't get paid to care. They get paid to make rules and regulations and not care. They don't care about us. Do you really think that these people care? No. They don't care, period. Neither side. They're too busy, you know, doing whatever they do. So we need to stop focusing on the left, the right, the middle, whatever. We need to do this ourselves. They're not going to care. Flat out no. Now, because I just read this today that Jair Bolsonaro, who is the president of Brazil, he actually fired. He fired a scientist. He was a scientist. He was exposing he was exposing how this the rainforest deforestation was becoming a big problem, and he defended the satellite data. The satellites, they have satellites up in space who are that watch over us and take data, and he was defending that. And he was defending that the satellite data was showing how bad the destruction was in the rainforest. It's actually 88% higher in June compared to 1 year ago. The Amazon rainforest is about to go. And I tell you what, it's going to be absolutely devastating to us all when it does. I'm going to be a great big hippie here on YouTube, so be ready, folks. It's coming for you, because I'm going to come with some facts. And if you didn't know, like I said, I do run a page. It's called Keiko's Legacy. You can look it up on Facebook. We have about 8,600 followers and growing every day. We even have some big people who follow us. If you know of the race car driver, Leilani Mutter, she follows us. She's been fighting these things. But Leonardo DiCaprio, this is some bits and pieces from his post on Instagram today, which I actually did share onto my Instagram. So this is what he had to say. The lungs of the earth are in flames. That's exactly what it is. If you don't realize this, the rainforest is the planet's lungs. And it's gonna, if we lose this rainforest, this earth cannot breathe anymore. It cannot sustain us anymore. So we need to care about this. It says the Brazilian Amazon is home to 1 million indigenous people. Those are natives. Those are native tribes. These are 1 million. There's 1 million indigenous people in this Amazon rainforest. So this is not just an environmental issue. It's not just an animal rights issue. It's also a human rights issue, because these people are now losing their home due to us people who take over everything while they're sitting there living a natural, quiet life. And that's horrible. We are destroying their home just as well as, the animals that live there. These people live off the grid. They don't have phones. They don't have computers. They don't have access to a newspaper. They live in their own way, without technology, living the old school way of living, and we are taking that away from them. We are forcing them to lose their home and lose their way of living, because we just are so selfish and so greedy, and the way we're living, and these people are going to lose everything because we just have our selfish, greedy needs. It's home to 1 million indigenous people, 3 million species. This is very devastating. 3 million not just animal species, it's plant and animal species. You know that there's some plants in the Amazon rainforest that are considered medicine, better than what we got coming from Bayer drugs and all that stuff. We don't want this. We cannot lose the Amazon. We cannot lose anything. We cannot afford to lose any parts of, like that. We can't lose these ecosystems. We can't lose. This is so devastating and destructive. I can't even fathom what's going to happen here if it's gone. They said yesterday that the amount that has already burned is half the size of the United States. Imagine if half this country was burnt to the ground. Could you imagine that? Imagine what that's a lot. That's a pretty big. That's half of a country, half of our country burnt to the ground, in the rainforest. Plants, animals, people even are losing their home, and animals being burnt alive. And you know what? Like I said earlier, you need to mend fences and don't burn bridges. And, once it's gone, it's gone. I don't think you can get it back. The rainforest is a one-of-a-kind kind of deal here. I don't think you could bring it back once it's gone. And, he's saying that Leonardo DiCaprio has said that this has been burning for more than 2 weeks straight. This fire has been burning for more than 2 weeks straight. And the media really isn't talking about this? Why? Why are we not talking about this? Why are we not caring? We need to care. Because if we don't care and we just let it go, like I said, you can't get it back. You can't get the rainforest back. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's just like the oceans. Once we kill that off, you really can't bring it back. You know that some of the coral reefs are pretty much a done deal. And you can't really bring that back either. So we need to really start caring about this. That's why I have been an animal rights activist, is because I want to leave behind a legacy for my kids, and if they have kids, grandkids, of people who cared and didn't just let it go. If I would have let myself go, as in my looks go, that's one thing. But the one thing I will not let go of this planet and the animals. And, people out there will sit there and say animal rights is not a human rights issue. Yes, actually it is. Animal rights is a human rights issue. And there are people too. Animals are people in their own way. They're a living, breathing being, just like us. They may not speak human, but they have a heart that beats, a mind that thinks, and a soul. And they are somebody, not an it, not a that, not a the. They are a living, breathing persons. So we need to start caring about them. And the way I see life is, if you could harm an animal for whatever reason, you can't have any. That's like the lowest of the low. Then I can't see how you could have respect for yourself or others at that rate. They don't bother you. They don't do anything to you. Same thing as the rainforest. What has the rainforest ever done to us? Bad. What kind of bad things has the rainforest ever done to us? Absolutely nothing. But we need to start caring, because like I said, we only get two mothers in this world. The one we're born to and the one that we live on, Mother Earth. And once Mother Earth and our mothers are gone, we can't get them back. So we need to start caring. So, he's saying that 74,000 fires in the Amazon. There have been 74,000 fires in the Amazon since the beginning of this year. So that's what? 9 months? In 9 months, 74,000 fires have happened? This is bad news, guys. This is bad news. I don't know how we come back from this, really. It's actually an 84% increase over the same period last year. So the fires in the rainforest have increased in a year. They actually said it's almost more than double than last year's. Hi, the On Game 2. We really need to start caring. This is devastating. Could you imagine this? Imagine where these animals are going to go. What about the millions of well, I think they have that H7. I think they're they're working on that. But the thing is, you got to remember, these fires are being brought on by people. So we need to find some way to make the people down there not do that. But you also got to remember, it's also, we also got to remember, part of this is due to our greed, our yep, it is sad. Right. Oh, you're far away from your goal? Well, I only have 3 people in here right now. So, we need to care. I mean, remember the fires in California? Was that like 6 months ago? They had that big forest fire. I mean, somebody was in my live earlier saying that these animals know how to get away. But imagine this. Imagine this as you will. Remember from the Golden Girls? Picture this as you will. When you have a fire this large, it's kind of hard. It's this large and this fast and this strong. Where are these animals going to go? I don't know if they can just get away. That's going to be very difficult. That's true. I agree with that, H7. You're very right about that. And, people are saying, without the Amazon, like I said, the Amazon, the rainforests are this planet's lungs. We cannot lose that. We cannot lose it. Like I said, once it's all gone, I don't think we can come back from that. You really can't. And the thing is, once this is gone, once the rainforest is gone, it's going to be a very hard time coming back from that. It's going to destroy the Earth's system. You know, global warming. I know some people don't want to believe in climate change or global warming. I do. I personally do. Living on Long Island, I've certainly seen a big change in things over the years. And, you know, the Amazon needs more than just prayers. Prayers are nice. Don't get me wrong, they're nice. If you want to pray for the Amazon, pray for the Amazon. But while prayers are nice, we need to start working on what we can do to solve this problem before it's worse. And I am going to do something for a month. And I'm going to challenge you guys on YouTube to try it. I'm going to go beefless for a month. I'm not going to eat any form of beef for a whole month. I was a vegan, so that's easy for me. But you know, that's part of the problem. They cut down, you know, that an acre, you know, an acre a minute goes away because of our meat greeds. Well, the dog, I don't think her meat, actually her dog food isn't beef. I only buy her chicken dog food. She's on a special diet. So hers is chicken. So I guess that's good, I guess. I get her Merrick brand chicken and rice. So chicken and sweet potatoes. That's what she gets. Merrick brand chicken and sweet potatoes. She's on a grain-free diet too. So the dog is on a special diet. So, and that's another thing is like, you know, I understand being a vegan. I was one, but pets are not vegan. So, but the biggest, you know, while we could talk about, you know, the rainforest and the Amazon burning down, we do need to talk about other rainforests that are burning down. You know, we have to talk about palm oil. Like I said earlier, I was looking at the, yeah, beefless. Yeah, sure, she can go beefless. Hey, Hookline and Kyle P. So, you know, I was looking at this, and like I said, there's no traces of palm oil in there. And that's something we need to start. That's another conversation. Is that there? You know, the rainforest. There are rainforests not just in the Amazon. There's rainforests in Africa and Indonesia, and you know, while we're talking about, you know, the Amazonian rainforest, we need to talk about the rainforest in Indonesia, which we're destroying as well for our food. Again, palm oil. Palm oil, it's in everything. It's in our food, it's in our cleaning supplies, it's in our toothpaste, it's in all of those things. So we need to do what we can to cut out the palm oil. I don't consume palm oil if I could avoid it. Unfortunately, like I said, it's in 50% of what we buy for ourselves. It's in our food, it's in our cleaning supplies. But I do my best. I think that vegans, when I was a vegan, I said that's not a vegan. For me, I didn't think it was a vegan ingredient because it causes the death of orangutans. So what is palm oil? Palm oil is it's a plant. It comes from a plant. It's considered a fruit. It's a fruit that grows in. It's from West Africa, but it's been doing quite well in Indonesia. It requires humid tropical climates. So palm oil is a vegetable oil from the fruit of the African oil palm tree. So I guess this is a prime example as to what happens when certain breeds and species of things move on to other countries because like I said, it's originally from West Africa, but has found its way into Indonesia. And, so palm oil is simply bad for the environment. It affects our climate change and things like that. They have to burn it down to collect it, to put in our food. And unfortunately, the orangutans are being affected. Not just orangutans, whatever lives in that rainforest. Again, just like the Amazonian rainforest, when we burn these things down, we're not realizing who's at risk here. I mean, there's like I said, there's how many? Hi Heather. You know, it says that there's 3 million of species of animals and plants and fauna in the Amazonian rainforest, and while we're burning that down, you know, we're putting all these animals at risk. You know, while animals may be able to escape this fire, which I don't really think that's 100% true. While those animals may be able to run and hide, I don't, you know, there's not a lot of room and space now. Like I said, the amount of Amazonian rainforest that's burnt down currently is already half the size of this country. That's a lot of, that's a lot of space gone. You know, these animals, you know, where are they going to go? You know, do they even know where to go at that rate? Do they even know the whole Amazon rainforest? Probably not. And not only that, okay, let's say we save all the animals, but what about the trees and the plants and all those things? Those are going to be gone now. Humans equals noise plus fire. Yeah, right. We're a horrible species, I tell you. We're horrible to the planet, we're horrible to the animals, and we're horrible to each other. You don't see animals act the way we do. We should start learning from them. So, you know, like I said, it's palm oil is bad for the environment. It's bad for climate change. And most importantly, it's really bad for the orangutans. You know, 1,000 to 5,000 orangutans have been killed in palm oil concessions. They don't just burn them either. You know that they don't, that the orangutans don't just burn to death. They shoot them. They'll shoot them dead. If they get in the way of collecting that palm oil, they will shoot them dead. Moms and babies. We need to care. We're killing animals just for our greedy taste buds, you know? Tell your taste buds that palm oil doesn't taste good. You know, you have to say no to palm oil. Palm oil has more than 300 names. There's actually a list out there. And like I said, there is an app. I will get the name of the app, and I will, yeah, no, they don't deserve that. Also, we could have, you know, Nutella. Nutella has palm oil. There are other, you know, Nutella's got palm oil, all kinds of candies. Nestle. No, yeah, probably does, H7. That's sad. I don't want to taste orangutan blood. You know what's sad about that? At that rate, you know, it's just a sad thing. You know, it's in everything. And you know, Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies have palm oil in it. So, you know, I know we were talking about Girl Scouts a while ago about how, you know, they sell these boxes of cookies for like $4 or $5 a box, and they only get maybe 50 cents out of it. You know what? I won't buy Girl Scout cookies for 3 reasons. One, I can't eat them. I physically can't eat them. Two, the girls don't get a fair shake out of the Girl Scout cookies. And three, they contain palm oil. And I actually am a Girl Scout alumni, so I actually have petitioned and you know, made many phone calls to the Girl Scout Council about removing palm oil from their Girl Scout cookies, because that's not good. The Girl Scouts of America is the Girl Scouts of America is supposed to be teaching our young ladies about the environment and being kind, not just to our human friends, but our animal friends. And so I don't think Girl Scout cookies containing palm oil is really what the Girl Scouts should be standing for. They need to change their cookies, because I won't be buying them. But I will. I may not buy them, but I will give them a $20 bill instead. That way they get a full $20 bill. And you know, that's what I do. So you know, you have to say no to palm oil. I do have a few names. Yeah, that's morally right. That's morally disgusting, because that's part of what Girl Scouts is about. Girl Scouts is supposed to teach young girls to empower one another and take care of the environment and take care of our animal friends. And let's not forget that. Yeah, I know. I was one. I was a Girl Scout. I'm not against the Girl Scouts. Want to enjoy Boy Scouts, to be honest. I wish I had that option. I would have joined if I had that option back when I was in Scouts. I would have transferred over to the Boy Scouts. I'd rather learn survival skills. But you know, like I said, it's got palm oil. It has 300 different names. One is palm kernel oil, palmitate, palmitic acid and stank acid. Stink acid? Yeah. So there, like I said, there is an app. When I go live at 11, I will see if I have the name of it then, and I will let you know about that. So if you want to avoid palm oil and save the orangutans and the Indonesian rainforest, you can most certainly do that. And I think we're going to continue to talk about the Amazon burning down and the importance of that and what we can do to fix it. Now, there's of course, the sustainable palm oil. But now, sustainable palm oil is kind of like free-range eggs at the grocery store. Manga Baya. Oh, I don't know what that is. But like I said, there's a list. Manga Bay. Oh. But sustainable palm oil is kind of like buying like I said, the free-range eggs at the grocery store. Okay? When you buy hi, Minty. What are you doing here? Hi, how are you? Anyways, back to the conversation. Buying things that are sustainable palm oil is kind of like buying free-range eggs. Ah, awesome. Well, welcome, Minty. Nice seeing you. I hear ya. I try not to also. But anyways, back to the important conversation of palm oil. Now, buying things with palm oil, first of all, it's like, well, that's also kind of like where if they were to have a label for palm oil, it's kind of like, yeah, no beef, good for the environment. That's exactly it. I'm going beef free for a month. Yep. Actually, I may actually go back to being a vegan anytime soon because I like that way of living. Like I said, buying sustainable palm oil related items, even if you can find sustainable palm oil ingredients. Unfortunately, I don't really believe that exists. But, like I said, sustainable palm oil is like buying free-range eggs at the grocery store. That's actually one of the biggest lies out there. Free-range eggs at the grocery store. How do you know if they're free-range? They're probably not. They're not living outside. They're just not in a cage. They're still in a big building with a bunch of birds all at once. Or they're in a bigger cage even. Free-range or, there's two different names out there. Free-range or cage-free. It's a bunch of baloney. And same thing, like I said, with, I've been good, Minty. How are you? Yeah, well, free-range and cage-free is a scam, H7. I won't even buy it. Unless, there's one way that I actually would do it is if, the only time I would actually buy, yep. Well, not so much, H7, unless if you go see it for yourself. I buy from a local farm. I don't buy eggs from a grocery store, simply because I don't want to add to suffering of birds. Hey, David. Yep. Well, right. That's why I support, nope. Nope. So yeah, I really don't eat eggs. I don't like them, but I do buy them if I buy them for my kids. But I buy them from a local farmer in which I can see the chickens running in the yard. That's important. You know, yeah. Well, no, let's not do that. All right. Okay. So anyways, so yeah, I've never had a duck egg. I've never had anything like that. It's not my gig. I don't even like chicken eggs. That's it. Yeah. Um, I would rather, I like to support local. That's what I was trying to talk about earlier in my live, is that there really is no such thing as sustainable anything. Let's face it, our human oh, I don't know about that, Minty. I mean, you do realize what eggs are. I'm not going to go there, but if you look and see what an egg really is, I mean, I find it to be repulsive and gross. That's why I don't want to eat it. Um, but uh, but I do support, like I said, I do like to support small local farmers. Um, that's a cool thing to do. They're, like I said, with the free range or the free range. Yeah, I actually have bought purple carrots. They're quite tasty. Um, those are good. And actually, the darker colored vegetables are better for you because they're loaded with antioxidants. You know, I hate it when I have pop-ups when I'm live. That's a mess. Um, Local pizza farmer. That's funny. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I make mine from ground chicken, but I am, like I said, I'm working on well, 99 Minty. Um, right. There's definitely no, you know what? I don't really believe that there is a humane way of, doing anything. I mean, same thing with meat. It's hard to say that there's a humane way of, anyways, so, yeah, so I don't think there really is a humane way of, when it comes to like factory farming and things like that, I don't think there's really that much humane treatment of anything in those case scenarios. But you can go to your local farm stands. Your local farm stands, small guys. I mean, it's always good to shop local, anyways. It's always good to shop local and support local farmers. They do a lot, but yeah, freshest eggs. Yep. I have a guy around the corner. I have a guy literally around the corner that actually rescued his rooster because he was crossing the road. Not in a good way. That was dangerous. Um, yeah. You know what, David? I'm all for that. I was a vegan. I talk about that freely all the time. I was a vegan for, uh, yep, basically age 7. I saved him from getting hit by a car. How about that? Um, I actually was a vegan and I'm ready to go back. I am very much ready to go back to being a vegan. I lost all the weight I needed to lose and with my tool, and I have actually am starting to speak to other people who have gone vegan since weight loss surgery, and I'm working on it. The only thing is, if I do go vegan 100%, that's exactly what it's going to be, 100% no meat alternatives. It's going to be strictly, a whole food plant-based diet, which is fine. It is sustainable. I know lots of people who have great, you know, uh, have done greatly on that. I don't believe pets are vegans though, so don't think that dogs and cats are vegans. I don't think that way, but so yeah, I mean, like I said, there's so you're a vegetarian, age 7. Yeah, I'm working my way back to it. Did you try the Impossible Burger? Ah, I actually worked on a farm. Did you try that Impossible Burger over at Burger King? I mean, just so we all know, I just want to. I will be doing. Yeah, I'm not really into fast food either, but um, I mean, I guess you know what it is. It's an option. We should applaud these companies for creating an option. I think that's excellent. I think they're starting to realize that the future may be vegan for a lot of people. A lot more people are going vegan now, not necessarily for the animals, even for the health. Did you see that documentary, What the Health? I like that documentary. I do like that documentary a lot. There's a lot of good information in there, and it's not just about right. It didn't taste any different, and see, that's what I think is awesome. Is that they're finding ways to make things that are not vegan taste and making vegan things taste really good. Now, listen, I know that there's some people out there say, "Oh, why do vegans have to have things that look and taste like meat?" Well, you know what? They want to still have that taste. It doesn't mean we lose the taste for meat. Some people do, some people don't. Some people still like the taste of meat. It's on Netflix, H7. Well, I can't eat Chinese buffet, but I can eat Chinese takeout if that answers your question. I don't know what's in Chinese buffet food opposed to Chinese takeout, but for some reason I can't eat Chinese buffet. You know, I went over to that new one. There's a new one over there in Babylon. Flame Grill or something. My kid's grandma planned their baptism and communion at a buffet over there. And for whatever reason, whatever is in their food there, I cannot eat it. It makes me very sick. One bite and me and the toilet are having a conversation. It actually feels like, I don't know, maybe it's cross-contamination. Maybe there's chemicals in their food. I have no idea. I just can't eat it. That's all I know. You know, but, you know, but we're gonna talk more about this rainforest stuff tomorrow, and I want to do some more research on genetically modified food. I do my best. I do my best to stay away from that. I know I have a bag of Cheetos or you know a donut or something like that. I do my best to stay away from that. Um, we need to work on this, and actually, I do want to have a conversation. It's sad. Yeah, it is sad, and we need to fix it before it's too late. I mean, already, you know, quite a lot has already burnt down, but there's got to be some way we could fix it. And like I said, I'm going to go beef free for a month. And I'd probably go stay, I may very well stay beef free for a while. I actually may transition back to being a vegan real soon. I hope. I hope. Um, I may go whole food plant-based, which means no meat alternatives and just eat vegetables and fruits. I'll see what I can do. So I feel like I've already lost all the weight that I needed to lose. And I don't like it either, H7. You know, this whole year of me losing the weight with my sleeve has made me feel very icky. I like to think of my body as a garden and not a graveyard, you know, but no, you can't say stay Steve. Free you need, okay. I am pro GMO. If you would like, I can, oh yeah, sure. Probably Washington County. I never had it, to be honest. I've never eaten venison. I've never eaten it, but you know that they've been culling the deer around here, and they've been donating the meat to the food pantries. You heard about that, right, Steve? When they were culling the deer out here, they were starting to donate the meat to the food banks. So I guess I've never had it, so I don't know. Although I am open to it. I know when I was in BNO's live, has anyone heard from him? I hope he's okay. Has anyone heard from BNO? I've been thinking about him. I hope he's doing okay. I haven't seen him around. I didn't go to his live on Friday, so just if you see him around, let him know I'm thinking about him. Because something BNO had said in his live, which I thought was very noble, and I gained a great respect for him when I heard him talking about this. He actually said that he would rather hunt his own meat than eat chicken from a factory farm. And that right there, right? See, oh, that's awesome of you, David. See, that's the one thing I really appreciated from BNO. He said he would prefer to hunt his own meat than to eat chicken from a factory farm. He said chicken from a factory farm is disgusting. So he gained a lot of respect from me when he said that. I thought that was actually amazing, and I totally respect him for that. So, if you see him around, let him know I'm thinking about him, and I hope he's doing okay. Um, I know he was going through some things, and I will. Tomorrow is Friday, so I will be at Grow Day. So BNO, if you're going live tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen the lineup, but just so you know, I'll be stopping by and seeing how you're doing. I can't message him on Instagram because I think his Instagram is still down. But BNO, if you see this later on, just know that I'm thinking of you. Much love to you. I hope things are going well for you. And see, that's what we all got to do, is we got to be a little kinder to one another. Help each other out and stop griping and groaning and, put stuff aside. And we got to fix this this Amazonian rainforest. I'm going to inspire you guys. I know you guys don't like Charlie Hunnam. I know there's guys in here. But if you have Amazon Prime, I think you guys should see this amazing film. It's called The Lost City of Z. It was about a explorer from the UK, Colonel Percy. He went to discover the Amazon in the 1920s. And I think it's an excellent film. I think they explore the idea as to why things were meant to be left untouched and undiscovered. Because now look, now they're saying that there's actually species of plants and fauna that may have not been discovered. It's called The Lost City of Z. It's actually a book. You can get the book, but there's also a film. It's a film on Amazon Prime. It's got Charlie Hunnam. I know. I know I'm highly, you know how much I love my Charlie. I know I talk about him all the time. Right. Exactly, David. I agree with that. We need to, like I said earlier in my live, and yep, Lost City of Z. It's a great film. He was in the military during, the World War, I think it was World War One, and he was sent to discover, to do a mapping for the rubber plantations, because there were some, there were some conflicts in Bolivia and things like that, and he ended up falling in love with Amazonia, and he wanted to find this lost city of Z. It's actually a true story, actually. He never came back. Colonel Percy Fawcett never came back, and actually, they actually have what's called a mustache. Yep, there's actually a mustache wax inspired by the character Percy Fawcett. Hey, Diagon Hills. Unfortunately, you caught the tail end of this live, but I will be back at 11, and we will be having a fun time, and we will be playing the adult Mad Libs tonight. Now, I know my live was kind of small today, probably because everyone's still over at Pusa Studios. That was a pretty poppin' live, and thank you for hosting that, Pusa Studios. I thought it was really great, and I met some people in there, and that was, yes, yep, I'm in New York, so it'll be East Coast time. Yep. We'll play Adult Mad Libs for about an hour, and maybe I'll sneak on a little early tonight, too. Maybe I'll get on at 10:45. Let's see what I can do. I think I might be able to sneak on at 10:45, get an extra 15 minutes, because I'm in need of my hours. So yeah, so we're going to be doing that, and we're going to continue this conversation on these things. I think every day we're going to break it down a little bit, and oh, well, actually, I was just about to end my live, Barry, but thank you for coming back. But I will be back at 11 to do a, I can try. Yep, that's exactly it, Barry. We were talking about the Amazon rainforest that's burning down, and, us losing very important stuff. Can you do 18 and up lives during the day? I don't know what the rules are on that, but I guess I could do one maybe tomorrow. I love that idea, David. Oh, you can? Okay, I know with like the 18 and up chats, they're just not monetized. Supposedly, if once you're monetized, you can't monetize those chats because of, honestly, the last few haven't gotten that crazy. So maybe it won't be, maybe it won't get me into too much trouble. I'm not monetized yet, but I'm almost there. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wish you a good couple of hours. I am going to end the live now. I do have some things to attend to, and I will see you guys. I think I'm going to try to get on 15 minutes early tonight at 10:45, and maybe tomorrow I could sneak in an extra live. I don't want to cut in. The thing is, I don't want to cut into the to the grow train. So you know what? Maybe I can get on live earlier tomorrow. Maybe I could do a 2-hour live. Let's see what I could do. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Stay awesome, David. I love you. See you guys later. Much love.